Sound check 1 2. Sound check 1 2. I see 6 people in the house. Can you just let me know in the chat if you can hear me clearly? I would appreciate 2 3 people. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. This is a sound check. All right. All right. AI government contractors. All is well. All is well. Peace. Hello. Hello. Let me know who else is in the house. Today we have an interesting topic. If you if you feel up to it, feel free to introduce yourself. I like to know who is in the house. I see you, Mundia. I see you, Danielle. Today we're going to be talking about DeepSeek. And while you think about letting me know who you are, I also want to know, have you used DeepSeek? I know there's a lot of controversy around it, and I'm going to talk more about these LLMs and how you should be making your decision on whether you should use just one or you should use all of them. So we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. Today we're going to be talking about government bidding made simple with DeepSeek. And I'm going to start at 7:25 sharp. I want to know that I'm speaking to some people in the house. So someone let me know in the chat. Have you used DeepSeek? Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Now I must warn, this is a bit of a disclaimer. Since DeepSeek became popular, uh, the server has been down. You throw in two or three prompts and then the server is down. It's too popular now, so I'm really hoping that during this presentation, while I'm going through DeepSeek, the server isn't too busy. It's 7:23 by my time. 2 more minutes, and I will begin the presentation. Also, before we start, has anyone in the chat right now, anyone who's currently on this live, have you written any proposals with ChatGPT and submitted? I would like to know. It's working well today. Fantastic. Okay. 7:24 by my time. 1 more minute and I'm going to start. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's talk about government bidding made simple with DeepSeek R1. Now, I'd like to start by talking about what we advocate for on this side of government contracting, on this side, the AI GovCon side. The mission is to help more small businesses bid on government contracts without having to experience the administrative burden that typically keeps most businesses or makes most business owners away from the paperwork. That's the mission on this side. Now, you could be using ChatGPT, you could be using DeepSeek. What is important really is that you know how to use the tool that you're currently using. And that's why I make the videos on the varied LLMs. Today, we're going to be focusing on DeepSeek, and we're going to be talking about government bidding made simple with DeepSeek-R1. We're going to be looking at solicitation breakdown, subcontractor search, and proposal writing. In this very training, I'm going to show you how to use DeepSeek-R1 to break down complex government solicitations, to find subcontractors effortlessly, literally because there's a search feature, and generate AI assisted proposals that stand out, all without hiring expensive consultants or spending hours on manual work. There's one word that I really want to highlight in here, and that is AI assisted proposals. AI is your assistant. So in this training, we're going to be looking at breaking down the solicitation, finding the subcontractors, and of course, putting together an AI assisted proposal. We're going to talk about the three secrets, uh, about the AI advantage. There is an AI advantage for the people using AI versus the people who aren't using AI. There are experiences that the people who are using AI have that the others do not. And we're going to talk about that a bit more today. Firstly, is breaking down complex solicitations instantly. I always make reference to a video that I was watching at one point, and it was a lady who won a government contract. It was in the real estate field, and she talked about how she had to print out about 30 pages of a solicitation, and she got out the highlighter and she stapled everything, she read each word, and she got the important information. She found the property that the government would be looking for, and it took her about 5 days to put together the proposal, and she won the contract. Listen, I am not the type to diss anyone's work. Anyone who wins a contract, I'm always very happy. But what I would like to emphasize is that, you know, you don't have to print out the entire solicitation, and you don't have to spend days writing the proposal using specific prompts that are CCS. And if you've been watching the channel for any period of time, you know what CCS stands for. CCS are the ingredients to any good prompt. CCS stands for clarity. Your prompt needs to be clear. What exactly is the objective of the instruction that you want to give to ChatGPT or DeepSeek at this very moment? It needs to be clear. It needs to have some context. Are you a middleman bidding on a contract? Are you a subcontractor trying to figure out a quote? Are you a lawyer trying to put together an appeal? What exactly are you doing? Give some context to the prompt. These things, like, some people would say that prompting is not really that important, but I would like you to test it. Try a generic prompt and try using a prompt that hosts these three ingredients: clarity, context, and specificity. Look, I'm looking for industry prices, industry standard prices that are between 2014 and 2017. That is specific. I'm looking for porta potty companies in the United States, Houston, Texas, to be specific. So get specific. Breaking down complex solicitations involves using specific prompts that are clear, that are concise, that have context, and are specific. Okay, finding the right subcontractors in seconds. Now, this one is a very interesting one because, you know, uh, I talk to a lot of business owners, and sometimes when I get into the conversation about the subcontractor plan, it goes something like this. Oh, well, Godwin, I had this friend from college. He's really something. That guy built multiple businesses. So he's going to get me a quote for this particular contract. Okay. Well, that's not bad. But what I would say is that you need to have a strategy, a system, a process that allows you to create a list of prospective subcontractors that you can proactively engage. And you can use the search feature on DeepSeek, on ChatGPT, to begin to search for specific companies that could possibly do the work. And then the last thing, generate AI assisted proposals that win contracts. You might have all the resources to complete the contract. You might be one of the best businesses in the country, in fact. But if you cannot communicate that competence on paper to the contracting officer on the other side, then you will not win the contract. You will not even have a chance. Learning how to put together a bid package, whether it's an RFQ or whether it's for an RFQ or an RFP, learning how to put it together from scratch, making sure that it's accurate, using the assistance and the power of ChatGPT on the other side can help you build a proposal. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make when using AI is hoping that with one prompt, they can write out an entire proposal. It's an ambitious thing to want to do. It's best for you to put the proposal together part by part to ensure that you have the detail needed to give the contracting officer everything that was required in the solicitation. So that's generating AI assisted proposals that win contracts. Now, I just want to talk very quickly about Kingsley. Kingsley is one of our community members. And, at the beginning, when I talked to Kingsley, he always told me, man, it's challenging for me to break down these solicitations. They can be really hard to read. I do not understand some of the requirements. And it's also hard to find these subcontractors, Godwin. See, I'm reaching out to them, I'm sending out these emails, but it's not really going as I planned. I hoped it would have been better. And writing these proposals, Godwin, is a real pain. I'm sitting down for hours. He even told me an interesting story. He's like he would always write a proposal and show it to his wife. He would spend hours writing the proposal, and then he would go and then he would show it to his wife, and his wife would say, "Oh, the proposal looks good. It looks good." And then Kingsley came across the channel, came across the AI powered solution, and put together a proposal with AI, and he showed it to his wife, and she said, "Whoa, whoa, you improved like overnight." And after which, Kingsley actually won a government contract. He sent out this message. I don't want to keep this for too long, but essentially what he's saying here is that he was able to break down the solicitation. He was able to find partners to help with fulfilling a part of the contract and was able to put together a bid package. And I think he said in less than 45 minutes. In less than 45 minutes. So I'm only showing you this to let you know that, when you follow a repeatable system, then you're going to have the ability to get more traction in your government contracting business. And that's why I wanted to talk about Kingsley. Anyone who is in the school community, you would see the other winners in the community as well. And I am sure that as you continue to watch this content, as you continue to practice your prompting skills and submit more bids, you're going to have a similar story. So if there's anybody in the chat right now who would like to have a similar story of being able to put a bid package together and win the contract, can I just see a one in the chat if you would like to have a similar story like Kingsley? Just let me see a one in the chat. Yeah, I see a couple of ones in the chat. Okay, great. All right. Now, secret number one, break down solicitations instantly. Uh, Again, government solicitations are not short. They're not a walk in the park. When you come in contact with the government solicitation, what you find is that they're long, they're complex, full of legal jargon, right? And the solution here based on this particular video, I'm speaking specifically based on this training, is DeepSeek, helping you to extract key details like when is this due? What government agency is this for? What is the SOW? So breaking down solicitations with DeepSeek, that's one of the things that we intend to do today. And secret number two, find the right subcontractors. Now, the problem is that manually searching for the subcontractor can be very time consuming. If you're intending to use some kind of yellow pages, this can be time consuming, terribly time consuming. The solution is actually the search feature on DeepSeek that allows you to find subcontractors based on NAICS codes. You can filter by certification or past performance. DeepSeek will actually tell you that, hey, this company right here, they actually hold about $20 million in government contracts. So DeepSeek has the ability to do that in its research process and get a curated list of qualified vendors instantly. Now we're going to demo this, but another thing I want to say here is like some of these words, I don't want these words to give you the impression that's like, oh, DeepSeek is going out and really scanning these companies and checking if they have all the certifications and making sure everything is 100% before it presents it to you. If I told you that, it will be a complete lie. If you're working on a porta potty contract, for example, you're going to get porta potty companies, and then you are going to proactively reach out to them and get some information, right? It's not going to be a case of DeepSeek is going to give you these people point blank and direct. I believe that some of you understand that, but I believe that there's also a need to reiterate so we are all on the same page. You're going to proactively need to reach out to those subs and begin some kind of engagement. And secret number three is write winning proposals. The problem with writing proposals is that it can be overwhelming and requires a bit of compliance knowledge. It's also fairly challenging for you to put all the requirements in. Like the contract can give you so many different bullet points that you need to make sure that you handle. So the idea here is it's overwhelming for you to do this by hand, and it's probably not sustainable. I had an attorney in one of my proposal writing classes, and um, I was asking her. I said, "Okay, you are an attorney. You have the ability to deal with complex information. You have the ability to deal with volumes of information. Why do you need to use AI?" And her response was, "Well, Godwin, she had already won a couple of state contracts, by the way. She said, Godwin, I just don't think it's sustainable because sometimes I'm in my office till 1 a.m. just trying to put together a proposal." So you might be experienced at even writing proposals. That might have even been your job. The point of AI here is that it allows you to put together a big chunk of that proposal in record time. Okay, now at the end, we're going to have a special offer. But right now, what I want to do is I want to go into DeepSeek and I want to show you exactly how we're going to be using this today. If you're still on board, you're still a bit clear, let me see a one in the chat if we're still on the same page and if we can get into this DeepSeek. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my entire screen. Okay. Now, let's let's go into sam.gov. Today, with our search on SAM, I'm going to be clicking on contract opportunities. I'm also going to be looking for contracts that are, due in the next month or so. And I will also only be looking at solicitations and combined synopsis slash solicitations. Okay, so okay, this is interesting. I just saw this. It's a family advocacy program, FAP, prevention, education, and outreach. Let's see what this looks like. We have a couple of attachments here. I'm seeing a couple of amendments. How many attachments? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven attachments. The first thing I'm going to do is to download every single attachment because we're going to have to test this. I know for sure that ChatGPT can take all of these attachments, but can DeepSeek do the same? Let's find out. Okay, we take this one in. Oh, oh, by the way, check this out. So when the search feature and the deep think feature are on at the same time, you will not have the ability to attach documents. So I've turned off the search feature, and now I am attaching these documents like so. And honestly, some of these documents I downloaded here, I didn't really need to, but this is good for the test. Oh, RDP rate limit reached. So we were able to attach six documents, and on that seventh document, it didn't go through. Now let's see. Is there anything I'm going to remove this pricing sheet because the pricing sheet might just be a sample. This is the RFQ, so I need to make sure that it's actually in here. RDP limits reached. What does RDP limits reached mean? Okay, you know what? I'm going to take this out and I'm just going to ask, I'm going to open up the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide. And within the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide, I'm going to start breaking down the documents from top to bottom. Now, what we're looking at right here is the thinking. So DeepSeek has the R1 feature, which is really good at reasoning. And what you're going to notice is that you can read the thoughts that DeepSeek is having before it gives you the final input. What you're seeing right now being displayed on the screen are the thoughts that it's having. So it says, okay, let's start by looking at the documents provided. There are several files here, and it names all the files. It says, first, I need to find the title of the solicitation. In Amendment 2, the first page mentions combined synopsis slash solicitation. So you can actually see it going through everything and it gives us this output. And if you've used the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide, you're going to notice one very simple thing that it starts from a 10,000 feet view of the solicitation and then it becomes a bit more specific. So this first prompt is actually intended to capture the basic details and overarching goals of the solicitation, which is what we are seeing here. So FAP prevention, education, and outreach on Ohio HI. So U.S. Department of Defense. So the solicitation seeks a contractor to provide non-personal services for the family advocacy program in Hawaii, focusing on prevention, education, and outreach. The contract includes a 12-month base period with four optional 12-month extensions. Services include developing and delivering training programs on domestic violence, child abuse prevention, and family resilience, conducting outreach events, workshops, and play groups for military families, creating marketing materials and managing community needs and assessments, supporting emergency response efforts through emergency family assistance centers. So right now we have a good overarching idea of what this is all about with that one prompt on DeepSeek. One thing I like about DeepSeek is its ability to be really clear and concise in its language. And for someone who has used ChatGPT for a long time, when I started using DeepSeek, that was the first thing that really stood out to me. Now I'm going to move on to the second the second step, which are the key requirements and the scope. And by the way, if you are not part of the community, join the community. This document will be available to you. uh, the yellow is for the prompt, and the orange is for the purpose of the prompt. And over here, so what are the eligibility requirements, key deliverables, and objectives of this contract? Again, when you throw in that prompt, DeepSeek is going to begin to think. And like I said, I've been using it for a while. And when it became popular, I noticed that it became really slow. And every time I'm using it, I kind of have my fingers crossed, hoping that it's not going to it's not going to freeze on me. So right now you can see it says that the server is busy. Please try again. Let me try turning off the deep think feature. And like I said, this is what has been happening. As this is the part of DeepSeek that it's not really shown too much. Well, look at that. When I turned off the deep think feature, um, it was able to come back to life. For the next prompt, what I'm going to try to do is turn it back on and see if the server will still be too busy. But again, this tool is perfectly capable even if you're not using the deep think reasoning feature. What are the eligibility requirements? Well, this procurement is a woman-owned small business set aside. Okay, and the next code is 624190. So other individuals and family services. Okay, cool. Registration. So contractors must be actively registered to sam.gov. So you see how this information is very clear and very easy for you to read and understand. Key deliverables, technical approach narrative, a written narrative, less than 10 pages. That's very specific. It must be less than 10 pages detailing the contractor's understanding of the FAP requirements, management and staffing approach, and technical capability to meet the performance work statement tasks, pricing sheet, relevant work experience, quality control plan, FAP prevention plan, marketing plan, monthly reports, outcome evaluations, community needs assessment. So, as you can see again, listed very clearly, very concise language. Like you see this marketing plan to be submitted within 30 days of contract performance, outlining strategies to promote FAP awareness through brochures, flyers, and social media. So again, very clear language, pretty concise. Objectives of the contract, so prevention and education, outreach and awareness. And if you remember, we saw this at the initial breakdown. So again, ch- DeepSeek is able to break this down, and this tool is free in very concise language and even go as far as deep reasoning. But going back to the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide, let's find out what exactly are the submission instructions. I want to make it very clear that the way I structured this is it's actually intentional for you to go from high level, 10,000 feet view and descend into more pertinent information, more detailed information. I would like to know, has anyone in the chat right now used this beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide? Have you ever used this before? I'll be interested to know. You ever- Yes, the way I have structured this is so we can get the information from high level. And again, The server is busy. So I'm going to try this again. Let's see. Or rather, I'll grab this, turn on the deep think feature, try again. You haven't used the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide. I see pink. So tell me, are you in the school community? If you're in the school community, this document, the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide, is actually available to you in the classroom section and it's free. Danielle, you've used it, and can you tell me just quickly, how do you find it going from top to bottom? Okay, the server is still busy. Let's see if you can refresh this. I like to leave all the problems and all the errors in videos because um, I just also want to make it clear that this is not really a perfect system. The AI could fail, but honestly, this doesn't happen with ChatGPT. So let's also keep that in mind. This doesn't happen with ChatGPT. What I'm seeing here is that the server is still full or still very busy. Okay, I see Marion Hood. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You've used it. It was very fast. It was very accurate. Wonderful. And that's really the goal. It's outlined. It's such an easy. It's really easy. The skill that you need to embody here is the ability to copy and paste and the ability to read. That is the skill you need to embody to be able to use this to break down government solicitations as many as you want in a systematic way. And you can also train another individual on this. Like, let's say you get yourself a virtual assistant. You can say, "Hey, I just need to see the reports of the 5 solicitations that you break down every day, and here is the SOP." So to be clear, what the AI GovCon does, I give you the SOPs to make sure that you can consistently break down contracts, find subcontractors, and write proposals. Okay, it seems like DeepSeek is back on track, and it says here, question due. All questions regarding the solicitation must be submitted no later than 1 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time on the 10th of February, which was yesterday. Okay, so proposal due. Quotes must be submitted no later than 1 p.m. Okay, fantastic. February 17th, 6 days from today. Proposal format. The proposal must include the following components. The contractor must complete the last page of the solicitation with their information, sign and date it. That's interesting. It says the contractor must complete the last page of the solicitation with their information, sign and date it. Now, I get a lot of questions like, Godwin, how do I structure my proposal? What do I need to do? And I always say the same thing. You need to follow the instruction that you see in the solicitation first. Okay, that's how I structure my proposals, starting with whatever is in the solicitation. Now I'm seeing that we need to have a last page or the last page of the solicitation with information, sign, and date. Okay, so if applicable, the contractor must also sign and submit the most current published amendments. Okay, the amendments, the question on amendment or the conversation on amendments. This is also important. Anytime there's an amendment, you need to acknowledge that amendment. Okay, so signed and dated combined synopsis slash solicitation. So completed pricing sheet. Technical approach narrative, a written narrative, no more than 10 pages. Addressing factor one, technical approach, management and staffing statement. You see, I always talk about the table of content that you need to build. And I get a similar question, Godwin, how do I know what needs to go into the table of content? It's a tricky question, but the answer is quite simple. You're going to find out from the solicitation itself. Here we're seeing that a management and staffing statement is needed, is required. So the narrative should demonstrate the contractor's understanding of the FEP requirements and provide a detailed technical approach to accomplish all tasks in the performance work statement. So include management plan for successful execution of work. So management plan, organizational charts with roles and responsibilities, list of proposed labor categories and descriptions, staffing chart with man hours and full-time equivalents, recruitment and retention approach. So this is very specific on what they want here. Relevant work experience, additional documents. So contracting specialist, we have all that information, additional notes, amendments, clarifications, unnecessary information. Do not include materials not directly related to the information requested, as they will be disregarded during evaluation. So, guys, again, DeepSeek, that very straightforward, very concise. It's good. ChatGPT is also good. My recommendation to anyone who is thinking, what do I use? It's not really about what you use, it's about your ability to use it. I can tell you that you can get great results with ChatGPT and great results with DeepSeek. But are your prompts concise or rather clear? Do they have some context? And, you know, are they specific? Are you giving the LLM enough information to create a custom piece for you? Do you have some tricks up your sleeve? Like, do you tell it, well, structure this email using the ADA framework? Oh, I want you to write this article using the Bluff framework. The better you become at prompting, the more efficient and the better you become at producing great results with these LLMs. We've been able to break down this solicitation, but at this point, I want to find out, what kind of companies can do this work and can we find them? So what kind of companies can do this work? Or complete this work? Yeah, I'm just going to go into the comments here. Oh, Danielle, I see you said it was easy. I got the solicitation done in 30 minutes. I was shocked. Yep, yep. It can be that fast. I used government contracting without tears too. Oh, you got the book. That's fantastic. I'm glad to hear that you got that. And the book also comes with a video, a supporting video of me putting together a proposal. If you get it in the school community, that is going to help you immediately. Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab some information from here. Because right now, let me try turning this on and seeing if it would pick up. If not, I'm copying all the information here, this entire chat. I'm going into Chat GPT and I'm just going to say what kind of companies can complete the work. Complete the work. And at the bottom, I'm going to paste everything from the previous chat and get Chat GPT up to speed. Social service providers, educational and training firms. Now, guys, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but ChatGPT has a feature called deep research. Deep research, and it's right here. So if you click on deep research, it takes longer than DeepSeek in terms of its research time, but it's actually able to give very good results. So I'm going to set it up and say, hey, list 10 companies that I can begin to contact for a possible partnership. And it would actually often ask you a question. Like it says, could you specify if you're looking for companies that are women owned small businesses based in Hawaii, specialized in social services training? I'm going to say all the above. But what I want to show you here is that it takes a bit more time than I'll find 10 companies that meet the criteria for a potential partnership. These will include women owned small businesses specializing in social services training, outreach, and related areas. I will prioritize those with experience in military family advocacy. So, check this out. This is going to take some time. I promise you, I've been using this. It does give you a great output, but it's noticeably slow. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Server is still busy. I'm still going to throw in another attempt. I'm going to turn on the search feature this time, and I'm going to copy here, paste. Now, just to let you know, most of the videos moving forward will be made about ChatGPT, but I also just wanted to explore DeepSeek again with some of the people because I've been getting a lot of questions about it. It seems like the popular thing now, and that's why we're using it. But if this persists, where the server is always busy, it's difficult to use, then I'm going to drop it. Yep, the server is busy again. And like I said, this is noticeably slower than usual, but we're going to see the results as well. And let me also move to ChatGPT 4.0. That might speed up the process. But when it comes to finding subcontractors with technology, AI tools, I want you to think about using DeepSeek search feature, using ChatGPT search feature, and really streamlining what you're looking for, or using Perplexity AI as well. So these tools are the tools that you would want to use to find potential subcontractors, as opposed to the yellow pages, as opposed to the friend from college that you've known for 25 years. You know, having a system and a process that allows you to find these subcontractors with ease is going to be a much better way. And by the way, guys, if this video is giving you any value, hit the like button. Let's hit that like button. Let's get this video to about 20 likes. Let's see if we can get the video to 20 likes. I mean, we've had a couple of people in here, so let's get the video to 20 likes while we surveil this. I'm going to refresh DeepSeek here. Let's see if we can get the video to 20 likes. Now, what kind of companies can fulfill the work? Turn off all the features. I'm trying to go with the flow right now and see if, let's say that this was the only option that I had, how would I handle it? Is the mindset I'm trying to take on here. I've refreshed, I've turned off the deep think feature, I've turned off the search feature. The prompt is very short, and ChatGPT is still doing its thing. Like I said, it's noticeably longer, but I'll tell you this. The the response is noticeably better as well. So I want to know in the chat, just throw one in the chat if you've used ChatGPT's deep research. Have you used ChatGPT's deep research? Just throw one in the chat if you have. And guys, let's see if we can get this video to 20 likes. Right now it's on 12 likes. Let's see if we can get it to 20 likes. I can see the love coming in the chat, but please let me know if you've ever used ChatGPT's deep research feature. Just throw a one in the chat. And if not, throw a two in the chat. If not, throw a two in the chat. Yep, the server is still busy. This is bonkers. I'll tell you that. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of two in the chat. Seen a lot of two in the chat. So we haven't used the deep research. I'll tell you this about the deep research. It gives you noticeably better responses. I have never used it to search the web for potential subcontractors. So we're going to actually see how that's going to work together for the first time. This is still loading. Again, I've refreshed DeepSeek. In fact, let's see if we try this again with the search feature on. This has happened to me so much now that I think I know when it's going to tell me that the server is busy. Like there's an amount of time that it spends buffering, and I know that it's going to tell me the server is too busy. But again, while that's going on, we're also waiting for ChatGPT here. Server is busy. Okay, while we wait for this feature here, okay, I've seen a couple of twos in the chat for the people who have never used the ChatGPT deep research. Well, right now it's on the screen. That's what we're using. And the goal is ChatGPT is going to find us women-owned small businesses that specialize in training, outreach, and related services. That is an extremely specific request. I've never done this before. So it's yeah, Stefan, too many people. And you know what? And can I just say something? I created a video about DeepSeek like 3 days after it came out, and nobody really cared. I've been using it for a while. It's been extremely smooth. Right after it aired on CNN, it was game over. Now everyone is using it. Every video. I would even show you something right here. This is a bit of an aside, but just to show you how popular like things get. So the keyword deep seek, if you look here, initially when I started looking at DeepSeek, the search volume was right about here, and the competition was extremely low. It was in the green. Right now, the search volume is extremely high at 93, but the competition is high. The competition is extremely high because this tool has become extremely popular. So yeah, you're right. A lot of people are using it. But I'm waiting on this. I'm kind of stalling right now because I would like to see uh what ChatGPT is going to do here in terms of navigating. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to start putting together a proposal with DeepSeek because this video was really intended to show you how DeepSeek would put information together. So what kind of companies can do the work? I'm going to try this again. Okay, guys, we are almost there. ChatGPT has almost given us. Oh, by the way, with ChatGPT, you can also see its thoughts now. So here we are seeing the thoughts ChatGPT. So the user is looking for 10 companies in Hawaii specializing in social services, training, outreach, or marketing with a preference for women-owned small businesses. They should have experience in military family support or domestic violence prevention, and ideally based in Hawaii. That is extremely specific. So I'm curious to see where this is going to land us. And let me just zoom in a bit so you can possibly see the thoughts. These are ChatGPT's thoughts. I'm mapping out strategies to find small WOSB companies in Hawaii specifically in the context of family advocacy. So you can see this is the work it's currently doing. It says, I'm thinking through how family strengthening, parent education, and parent support services align with the topic. HireGov.com might be an aggregator of contract announcements. So check this out. It's done. It's giving us the results. Let's see what this is about. It says Vector Federal Solutions, a certified women-owned small business offering program management training and outreach services for government clients. Very interesting. Okay, let me click on this and see what the company is all about. Lawrence Sam Daly. Okay, this is interesting. That doesn't seem to be their website. Okay, let's see. This is the website. It claims, okay, Vector Federal Solutions LLC, strategic advisors, service marketing intelligence, investment strategies, growth. Okay. All levels of government and commercial clients. So this might be a good lead. This might just be a good lead. It's also military. Vector is a fortunate. It is a fortunate. Vector is a fortunate that his teammates come from all aspects of federal, state, and local commercial. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, you can ask questions while you wait. Let's see. Strategic resources. So what we're seeing here is I'm actually liking this. This is a woman-owned professional business with decades of experience supporting military family programs. Guys, I have never actually done a search that's this specific to where I'm saying, look, I'm looking for women-owned small businesses that are specific in X, Y, and Z area. And from what I'm seeing from this deep research, it's actually producing some pretty good results. Relevant experience. SRI has been a long-time contractor for the Army, communities, and family program. For example, uh, federal staffing resources. Okay, the point I was trying to make here is that with this deep research feature, all these search features, you no longer have to play the guessing game with subcontractors. You can now take a more proactive approach by creating your own list of potential subs and beginning to engage them. Create a list of their websites. You know, one funny thing is that you can tell ChatGPT to go into their websites and put the contact information that is seen there on a spreadsheet that you can begin to call. So let me just put that in right now. So go into each website and pull out emails and phone numbers and attach each of them to a spreadsheet. Yes, in seconds. We have a phone number from the website, we have the email address, and we have the website like that in seconds. So we can see that some of them are not listed and it wasn't able to get that information. But you can see how quickly, and it even gave you how to scrape emails from any website into Excel, just in case you needed some support with that as well. But guys, what I really wanted to do here, and I want to see if DeepSeek is kind of back to life. I wanted to ask DeepSeek to create a draft of the table of contents for a contract like this. And I'd like to turn on the Deep Think feature and see like what's going on with Deep Think right now. Let's see if I'm going to have any luck. If I don't have any luck, well, I'm just going to take that same prompt and put it into ChatGPT do what we usually do and probably call it a night. I've shown you right now how to break down with DeepSeek and the beginner 5-step solicitation breakdown guide. How do you break down? Oh, there we go. The server is busy again. So I'm going to grab this, throw it into Chat GPT like so. So ChatGPT is now creating the table of contents for this particular contract. And what we see here is it's going to always give us lots of items. This is normal. It's going to give you maybe 12 items in some instances. What you want to do is you want to keep it concise, and as you can see, it's going to let you know SF 1449 completed pricing sheet, organizational chart. I'm actually quite disappointed that the server of DeepSeek is down because I really wanted to show you most of this on DeepSeek. That was the intention of this video. That was the true intention of this video. So I just want to try this one more time. I closed the page. I came back to it. We might have to do a double take and do DeepSeek again because I really wanted to show you what the proposals look like and how DeepSeek is able to very logically uh, give you exactly what the solicitation is looking for. I think it's something impressive, and I think it's something that you would like to see. And since the server is busy right now, I'm going to move on and put together a bit of a proposal with ChatGPT and reestablish some of the principles that we already talk about here at the AI GovCon. But it's a bit disappointing because I wanted to show you what DeepSeek is able to do and how great the language actually really is. Now, what we have here is, oh, remember, we didn't even attach any of the documents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask ChatGPT to reevaluate a table of contents based on, I'm just going to say redo the table of contents based on the SOL requirements. Okay, so the cover page, it's important to have a cover page where you have all the basic information about your company, the solicitation information, your Kate code, everything just displayed nicely on that front page. And then the executive summary, technical. So you see, after I changed, like, check this out. If you look at the technical on this side, it says very generic things like understand the performance work statement, methodology of service delivery, prevention and education programs. But when I added the attachments, check out what the technical now looks like. Factor one, management and staffing, service execution plan, all those little things that we saw when we were breaking down the solicitation has now been added to the table of contents. We have factor two, factor three. So everything has now been put in place. We have 8 items. And I always like to create a new Google Doc where I'm going to begin to pour. I'm going to begin to pour the information into my Google Doc. I'm going to say great TOC, make it more concise without removing valuable info. We can possibly try again. Now, I want to take two of the questions in the chat. Danielle, first question with when reaching out to subcontractors, what information do you give them? Do you tell them that it's a government contract? Very good question. Okay. And then Stefan, can we do it again on Thursday? Okay, I'm going to get to those questions, but let me focus in here. Now, I'm going to remove this cover page from the table of contents. I'm going to let ChatGPT know that just remove cover page from TOC. So this is what I mean by building things part by part. When I'm not just taking whatever ChatGPT gives me as gospel. I looked at the table of content. I said, you know what? I don't need to put the cover page in the table of content. I highlighted it like this. I used the speech bubbles and I said, hey, take out that table of content. And I got immediate compliance. Executive summary, tech, relevant work experience, pricing proposal, fantastic. We have all these things down. Now, when it comes to putting together the proposal, it's very important that it's done part by part. One way you can let ChatGPT know this is by saying, hey, I want to start to put the proposal together and I want to do it part by part, starting with the executive summary. Okay. Say yes when you're ready to start writing the first part. I'm also going to show you something really interesting here where I can actually tell ChatGPT says yes. Let's start writing the executive summary for your proposal. Let me know if you want to follow a specific style, use a formal or structured or persuasive or compelling, persuasive and compelling. And if you have any specific points you would like to highlight, I'm going to do something interesting here. I'm going to tell ChatGPT, well, ask me 5 crucial questions to make the executive summary completely align with the SOL. I've- I'm just throwing this around. It's going to ask me 5 crucial questions that it could possibly use as the base for the proposal. So, what makes your company uniquely qualified for this contract? Now, I'm going to do something here. Let's say this was our company. I'm now going to ask ChatGPT to answer these questions using our company info. And I'm going to put the link to the company right there. And guess what ChatGPT is going to begin to do? It's going to search the web and it's going to answer all the questions that you just asked it. And now, with these answers, I can tell ChatGPT use the information above to write the executive summary for the contract. So let's go. So this is another style, right? This is prompting. It knows I want to do it part by part. It I told it to generate questions to make this executive summary fire. It generated the questions. I gave it my company website and I asked it to answer the questions using my company's website. And now we have a robust executive summary. Let's read it and let's see what it's all about. Vector Federal Solutions, a service disabled veteran owned business with over 50 years of combined experience, is pleased to submit this proposal for the Family Advocacy Program Prevention, Education, and Outreach Initiative in Schofield Barracks, Oahu, Hawaii. With a strong background in program management, intelligence, cybersecurity, knowledge management, and business analytics, our team is uniquely qualified to support the U.S. Army mission of enhancing military family resilience, preventing domestic violence, and promoting community education. Now you're going to show that you understand the requirements. The Army Community Service FAP It's a crucial initiative that strengthens command readiness by addressing domestic violence, child abuse, prevention, and family wellness through education. Now, I know this was a woman owned small business. Again, this was really just an example, but I wanted to show you that I'm having this dance with ChatGPT where I'm saying, you know what, measurable impact and value proposition. It gives some measurable impact and value proposition. I'm going to say, great. Are you ready to move to? Are you ready to move to the second part? What does ChatGPT say to me? Yes, ready to move to the second part. Management and staffing. Before drafting, here are key points to confirm. So it gives the questions again, and automatically, guys. I don't know if you understood this, but ChatGPT saw the format that I was using initially, where, you know, I told you I wanted to start with the executive summary. I told it to ask me a couple of questions, and now I didn't have to ask it to give me those questions. It has already seen my pattern and it's giving me the questions now that would make the executive or the technical fire. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is not about just throwing in any type of prompt. There is a method, there's a style. So, what I did here that's quite different is I said, I'm doing this part by part. Let's do it together. Are you ready for part one? Are you ready for part two? Now, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do some research and answer these questions. Right? Do some research, answer these questions. What ChatGPT is going to do is search the web, is going to answer these questions. Now, again, this is an example. When you're actually working on the contract, one thing you're going to be doing is that you're going to actually be trying to get this information, right? But let's say that we deploy qualified professionals who work directly on sites, ensuring seamless integration with client operations and immediate responsiveness to needs. Okay, cool. Use the information above to write part two. And now you're going to use the information to write part two. So, technical approach. Vector Federal Solutions is committed to delivering high quality, mission driven services for the Family Advocacy Program, Prevention, Education, and Outreach Initiative. Our structured approach, experienced personnel, and strategic methodologies ensure successful execution of all program components while maintaining full compliance with Army directives and federal regulations. Guys, I think that you get the gist. I think that you get the gist of what is happening here. I'm still a bit disappointed that, DeepSeek did not end up fulfilling its end of the bargain. But that's fine. We're going to look for another time to do it. Possibly it might be on the next Tuesday live. It might not be on Thursday, but it might be on the next Tuesday live. And just to answer that one question there, uh, about the subcontractors, whether we tell them everything or not. So we've been discussing this a lot in the inner circle, and I think we've kind of come to see that it's best to start that relationship out on a transparent note, where it's like, hey, look, we are working with a client. Just like with every relationship, you don't start off by telling them everything. You want to get a price, right? We're working with a client. We need to get a price. Are you able to give us a quote? If you notice by any chance that it's difficult to get through to them, it's difficult to get someone on the phone, it's difficult to get your emails responded to, then this is not even a partner that you might want to work with long term. But if you call and you say, hey, we have a client, they have about 2.5 acres of land that we're looking to, or that they're looking to get taken care of. We would like to partner with you for it, and we would like to get a quote. And there is a cohesive relationship going on between you two. The fact that this is a government contract is going to come out, but I would suggest that you don't lead with that. That's how I would answer this question. Okay. But guys, the systems I just showed you right now for using artificial intelligence to either break down contracts, find subcontractors, or even bid on, sorry, to write proposals. I have outlined in my inner circle. And for everybody who has attended this Tuesday call, anybody who's interested in joining the inner circle, I do have a special offer of $197 a month for anyone who is currently on this Tuesday live. I am not going to announce this in the community. I am just going to do this right now for anybody who is interested in joining the inner circle. I'm going to drop the link. This deal is going to be available up until tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to change the price back to what it usually is. So, guys, for everybody who joined this particular meeting, I am dropping the link for anyone who wants to join the inner circle. The inner circle is going to give you some access to some specific tools. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When you join the inner circle, you're going to have a more robust classroom section. Here, I'm going to show you how to create your own project management tracking sheet for government contracting with a free tool that is not going to break the bank, but it's also going to help you to really understand what you're doing. We're also going to show you how to create industry keywords, break down solicitations, find subcontractors, proposal writing, and project management. And all we always meet on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday we meet, we have calls that are recorded, and you're able to watch those recordings. So I'm going to drop the link right now in the chat. Now, for anybody who is interested in joining the inner circle, it's all here for you. But I actually really enjoyed this particular live. I haven't been coming on live because I've just been swamped with a lot of things that I've been doing, whether it's for the coaching business, whether it's for the government contracting business, and also just personal life stuff. But I see the engagement in the community. I get the messages from the people. I'm truly honored to have such a brilliant collection of people as an audience. And that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this meeting. Smash the like button. We're trying to get this to about 20 likes. We're on 13 likes. So right before you go, smash the like button. You can join the inner circle, and good night.